should be moving it. Hey, Candace here. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. Hey, Sandy, everybody else, AK Barlow, Style Storing. Thanks for inviting Catherine. I really appreciate you inviting followers. Hey, D. Mungro, good to see you. It's been a long time. Hey, Dana Fortier, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it's early. I'm going to get back to my schedule in a little bit. Thank you, Gold Digger TV. Hey, Sharon, good to see you. Thank you so much. Charlie, AJ T29, good to see you as well. D Rose, good to see you. I'm just getting up earlier. I'm in the middle of something right now, putting something together, and that's what it's been taking my time. So it's kind of hard time-wise. So I apologize for being absent for the last week or so. I'm working on it. I'm going to get back to a schedule in the next several days to week at the latest, and I'll start doing morning and evening scopes, talking about motivation, but also talking about business. I'm working on releasing a pricing product. I'll mention a little bit more a little bit later, but I'm mentioning I'm actually going to be sharing doing a webcast to teach people how to price their products and services. So, oh, you got some news. It's awesome, Sharon. Good to see you. Sharon is the founder of Market Simple. You can check her out. She wrote the book, Market Simple. She's founder of P3 Solutions, small business marketing company. Dana Fortier has been also awesome. She's basically like a virtual assistant and does a lot of stuff for people in the back end. She's also pretty awesome. Sandy there, yes, I am cheap. I know Sandy, I met her at FinCon. Phenomenal person. Teaches you how to get money in real estate, how to cut out all your debts, how to do a bunch of things. Thank you, Gold Digger TV. I really appreciate that. Hey, guys, I asked you guys to do me a huge favor. Yeah, Sharon, you should check out Sandy. Yes, I am cheap. She's part of a financial blog and stuff. Douglas, too, is another motivational speaker and coach. We're going to be speaking together on. Oh, you do 100% speaker agent services? Okay, my bad, Dana. Yeah, so she does speaker agents. That's another thing she does. So do me a huge favor. Check her out. If you're a speaker, she helps you get leads so that you can, get more speaking gigs. She's worth the money, so check her out. Kevin Madison's on here. I'm so blessed to see this guy. You're awesome. That's awesome. Great to check in with you today. Hey, thank you so much, WS Rapport. Thank you, Gold Digger. Yeah, Kevin Madison is the guy I call him Millionaire Money Mentor. He comes and like literally, his scopes are mind bending, but it gets you to change your frame. And like sometimes in order to go to another level in life, you have to raise the level of your paradigm, the level of awareness. You cannot ever in your life get anything on a mountaintop when you're still hanging out, right, on the ground floor with everybody else. And so that's the kind of guy that Kevin is. So check him out. He's someone I look up to, and I appreciate. And I look up to all you guys. So do me a huge favor, guys. Invite your friends and followers. I really appreciate it if you could do that. Invite your friends and followers to the scope. And let me introduce myself to you. You can swipe up, share broadcast, invite your friends via Twitter. You can also invite your friends here on Periscope. And I'm going to share a quick message with you guys with the reason why, the two main reasons why your setbacks will set you up for success. And they're really important because we're all going through difficult season at this point in time. But before I do that, let me introduce myself because there's some people on here who are new who I'm not familiar with. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Ebongeka. I'm a certified public accountant in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm the author of the best-selling business book, Start Me Up, The No Business Plan, Business Plan. I'm also the Prince of Pricing, and I work with businesses across the country to help them set their pricing, raise their pricing, so they can maximize their profits in the process. I'm also the founder of Economics. You guys, I think Gold Digger put it in here. Economics, it's EKANOMICS.com. It's my small business consultancy. Through that is how I am the Prince of Pricing. And a lot of what I work with business, because businesses are struggling all the time. So thanks so much, WS. So my goal is to help you raise your prices so you can raise your revenue. And you have to raise your level of awareness in the process. There are a lot of people who are undercharging, leaving money on the table, and they're not charging because there's a scarcity mentality we're taught our whole lives. It's not your fault. It's what the market kind of teaches you to think, right? You got to think small. So, thanks so much, Kevin. I appreciate it. Yes, I do know a lot of people. I just built, just like you do too. Kevin is connected too, but he's well connected. But anyways, with that being said, so today's talk is to show you the 2 reasons for setback, and we go through this a lot. What resources do you provide, or books that teach on pricing? I'm actually in the middle of writing my next book, which will be on pricing. But I'm also going to be launching a webcast, in about a week and a half, and I'll let you know. But I'm going to teach you the system that I use, that I work on, and I use to work with my clients, where I charge them thousands, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. And I teach, it's going to be a lot less, but I teach you literally, the 4 steps to how to set your price and raise them. I also teach you how to handle some of the objections that people will give you when they say they can't afford you. And I'm going to also do some Q&A based on your business. So if you have any questions, it'll be like a 2 to 3 hour webcast, and it's going to be live. And then if you want to get the replay, it'll be another, actually more expensive if you want to get the replay if you don't register in time. So the price for the live cast is going to be so cheap. You get the workbook. It's going to be really cheap, and you can do it right away. And then if you get the webcast, it's like 10 times the price. So enough of that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I meet so many people. People email me every single week. I got people I don't even know who reach out to me. People on the street who said they've seen my periscopes, who know me. I go to a mastermind, somebody saw me. I'm in a different city. Someone's like, you look familiar. Now, the reason why I'm sharing you with it is this. Smart products like that. Key to the market, or so many commodities. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want to be a commodity. And so I give you the value up front. If you commit to me early when you see me as a live broadcast, after that it's 10 times. So I'll give you a quick example before I go into my message. The first is when I'm doing the pricing webcast, it's going to be $49. It's a little low on the low end. I'm okay with that. I know it's worth a lot. If I show you a technique that gets you to 10x your price, it's beyond worth it. That's ashtray money to you after that. And so the goal after that, after the live webcast, to see it, anybody else who's going to see it after is going to pay at least $500 for it. So just to let you know, that's kind of how the process is going to work. And every month I'm going to have a new webcast of a different training that's along with the pricing or raising your business and stuff like that. Oh, you did? Oh, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. I don't know if you know this. I saw Grant on Monday. I went to his office. I was in Miami. Good morning, Stephanie. I was in Miami, and I saw Grant. Went to the offices. I saw Jared. I saw Robert Sislow, the video guy. I was in the studios. I was hanging out with them, and then I left after that because we had to fly back. Okay, I want to remind you something about the message real quick. And the reason why I'm sharing, Power Players, yes, it's awesome. It's set, it's dope. It looks bigger than it is, but it's weird. It's really, really nice the way what he did to it. They blew out part of the back and added that. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing this. But look, the message is this. We're going through setbacks a lot. Hey, Carla, good to see you in here. Guys, before I continue, check out Carla Bissong. Carla, she's a young African-American entrepreneur who runs an art gallery in Houston. I met a guy who's a music star. He said he's performed at your place before. A guy that we become friends. He said he's performed at your art gallery before. It's Bissong Art. They do art. They rent the space. They do paint and sip parties. Do a multitude of things. Carla's phenomenal. She's starting to scope herself, so check her out and follow her. But again, my goal is this, is to remind you that there are people out there doing things that you can be doing, that you want to do, right? And right, if you're seeing examples of people sharing their gifts, doing the things that they were born to do and desire to do on this planet, what ends up happening is something simple. Your brain starts to open up. A lane starts to open up. You understand what I'm saying? A lane starts to open up for you. And because when a lane opens up for you, your brain starts to remind you that there are things you can do to get closer to that. So there are things you have to manifest. And too many people, they look at something the way it is. They're not capable of being able to see the next step further. And as a result, they don't take the time and the effort and the energy to focus on what their future looks like. And so they sit in a place of despair and look at their setbacks. When you have a setback, everybody on this planet will have a setback. Most successful people that I've met, that I've spent time with, you can even ask Kevin, anybody else, people that I've met, people who are millionaires and multimillionaires. I was at a house in Miami. The house was out of control. There's a $40 million property on the water. Some of y'all saw some of my scopes. I saw where I was. There's two boats, not one boat, 2 boats, 10 jet skis. But you got to understand a simple principle. He has had setbacks. He has failed a bunch of times. The simple thing is this. When you have a setback, when you have a problem going on in your life, you have to remind yourself that that is part of what you need to go through. So here's the first principle. Just like when you're looking at the farmer and you look at I use farming analogies all the time. Why? Because it's something that we all can relate to and understand. When a farmer plants in the spring, there's a season in between in which you don't see anything happening. All you see are animals trying to eat that seed. You see pestilence, you see locusts, you see problems. Those could be in the form of people. That could be substance abuse. That could be distractions. It could be watching the Kardashians and watching the politics. Whatever it is, you'll have a season in between after you plant your seed, where you'll have the setbacks and disappointments, and you'll be discouraged, and you want to leave that farm and go somewhere else. But if you can weather that storm, if you can weather that tide, if you can weather that season, when this fall time comes, you will be able to reap a bountiful harvest. That's how nature works. The same thing works for your gifts. The same thing works for your life, your desires, and your dreams. There's a season in between where everybody believes it's a setback and they think they should be quitting. But if the farmer quit during the time in the summer, after he or she has planted that seed in the spring, they would never have food to eat in the fall. They'd have to learn how to beg. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? So for those of you who are sitting right now, you're looking in the mirror saying, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not working for me. I don't understand why this is not working. Why am I failing here? Why am I failing there? Sometimes all you need to do is just outlast that storm. Sometimes all you need to do is wait for that season to pass. And every single person I've met, I'm telling you the truth as I sit here solemnly. 100% of the people that I've met, they've all told me a story when they've had that problem and they were stuck in that season. After that is when everything trajectory was out of control, right? Exactly. Right. And so I want to remind us that the second thing is the first principle is a farmer. The second principle you got to get this in your spirit as you're hearing me right now. You got to get this in your soul. Do me a favor, keep sharing this out if you can. And the hearts are great. I really appreciate that. The last thing I'll share with you before I got to take off is this. The setback gives you character. It reminds you of who you are. It actually tells you exactly what you like and what you don't like. And the very thing that's giving you the most trouble is usually the thing that you have to do. I'm going to say it again because I think you missed it. The very thing that you're doing that's giving you the most trouble is usually the thing that you have to be doing. There are so many people who aren't living their truth. But I love this amazing video of Steve Harvey sharing the idea of jumping, right? On the set, in the middle of changing something. He's talking to the studio audience. Someone recorded it. He talks about the importance of jumping. And I listen to that video every single Monday. And it makes me emotional because it reminds me that there are times when I've had setbacks, right? There are times when I've sat and like, you know what, this ain't gonna happen. They're gonna come take my house. This ain't gonna happen. They're gonna come take my car. And I realized a simple principle. Every single time I've been successful in my life, I jumped. Despite the odds. I'll give you a quick example. When I played professional basketball, I didn't play professional basketball because I was the best player in the world. I played professional basketball because I hustled the hardest. I played professional basketball because I took a leap. I played professional basketball because while everybody else was out getting jobs, I decided to go clean office buildings and use the extra time I had, the extra 12 hours of not sitting in a cubicle with a tie on. I spent that time working on my game. At night, instead of going to sleep, I was making phone calls to teams overseas in Europe. Most of them didn't speak any English at all. I was sending emails. I was sending tapes. I was hustling. For 2 straight months, I grinded, lived in the basement of my former teammate's mother's house. You got to understand the simple principle I'm telling you guys. I had to jump. But when I jumped, it was the hardest experience, one of the hardest experiences of my life. I remember to this day. 3 weeks before things came to fruition, I was literally in the shower and I was crying. Why was I crying? I was crying because I was tired. I was crying because I was fed up. I was tired because I was tired of making phone calls at night. I was tired of paying $1,000 a month on a phone bill. This is in 1999. It was not cell phones where it's like a penny a minute, right? I was paying like $1 a minute to talk to these people overseas. And my phone bill was $1,000 a month. Every single dollar I was making was used to pay my phone bill and $200 a month to live in a basement and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and tuna out of a can while I worked out. And then at night I was cleaning office buildings. I was getting paid under the table. I got to make this clear to you guys. That's literally how it works. And so for me, I'm sitting there. I remember this to this day. I'm in the shower. I'm crying because I'm like, why am I going through this, God? Why is this happening? Why isn't it not easier? I'm seeing other people I know who aren't even that good, who are getting phone calls. They're making announcements. I'm going over to play here in Sweden and Finland and France also. I'm like, man, why am I going through this? But this is a simple thing that I learned now as I look back 16 years, 17 years later. Here's a simple thing I learned. I can apply that map. I can apply that everything that I did during that time 17 years ago, I can apply it to today. I have everything that I've done before when I wrote the book, everything I've been able to accomplish thus far has come after I went through that. It built my character. I knew the very same thing that was making me cry, that was making me sad, all that stuff. I had to do that. That's the thing. That's the very thing I had to do. But what most people do is they'll quit. They'll hit some resistance and say, you know what? God's telling me I'm not supposed to be here. And, you know, this goes back to what Steve Harvey said once. He's like, what are you tripping for? Right? Look how people did Jesus. How do you think you're going to go through life unscathed? But again, this is what you got to do. So a lot of people live their lives when they say they got faith and they walk around tiptoeing all over the place. But in reality, they have everything they need, right? And part of having the faith to be able to go to that next level requires you to step with strength, to step with conviction. And we walk around tiptoeing and we wonder why we can't run our race. How many times have you ever tried running a race while on your tippy toes? It doesn't work. We all got setbacks, y'all. We all got situations where we're looking back saying it's not going to work. This sucks, this and that. This is crap. You know, God, why aren't you making it easier? You know, instead of me wishing it was easier, I need to be better. I need to focus on what skills I need. I need to focus on what's missing. Very, very, very often there's something that's not missing. Hey, and for humanity, Shannon is awesome. Follow her. You know, I'm praying for you, Shannon. You're awesome. And, you know, we're all fighting together. So I want to give Shannon a shout out. So check her out. Shannon Griffin. She's the best. Burn the bridges to make it happen. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Carla. That's a very simple, same thing I want to share as well. The setback was a setup for this comeback. Exactly. Right. You know, and it is a term, which Carla said, burn the bridges, like burn the boats. Right? If you want to, and Tony Robbins always talks about this, but it goes back to an ancient story in Troy, where the only way that they were able to take Troy is if they burned all their ships. Why? Because if you don't burn your ships, you always give yourself a way out. Your brain, you got to understand a simple principle. Every time you want to accomplish a dream or a goal, your brain is your worst enemy. It's not your cousins or your uncles or your spouse or someone next to you. It's your brain. Why? Because your brain wants to minimize time and effort. Your brain doesn't want you, right, to suffer. The goal of your brain is not to suffer. Your goal is to live. Is your goal to have shelter, sex, food, all that kind of stuff. Your brain doesn't want you to. It's not its fault. It was made that way for self-preservation, so you can pass on a legacy of kids. That's the reason why your brain acts the way it does. But the first thing that you have to do is when you burn the boats, when people are faced with death or success, they tend to succeed. Because there's no other alternative. And at the time when I ended up leaping, back when I was graduating college, I burned the boats. You don't understand. There were deeper risks that I took. One of the risks that I took was this. I was going to school on a work visa. Right? On a school visa. I wasn't a citizen of this country. So the only reason why I was in the country was because I had a student visa. That's it. So once that was over, I had no other alternative but either get a job that would give me another visa or I leave the country. But at that time, that was and my goal was to live in this country and to become a citizen, right? But one of the worst things I could have done was to say, I'm going to burn the ships and spend the next several months working out and doing odd jobs so I can save money and go play professional basketball overseas. You hear what I'm telling you? That is the one thing that I needed to do. That was the hardest thing, but I had to do it because it built my character that I'm going to use today. So I want to remind you, if you're looking at something, you're looking at a setback, you're looking at your obstacle, looking at your mountain, we're always complaining at how big this is. Well, we should be talking about how big our God is, how big we are, how big our heart is. Hey, good to see you, Honey Badger. Thanks for being here. It's been a while. And so my goal is to share this testimony, share this mission, share this idea with you, because some of you are sitting right now looking in the mirror saying, I can't make this work. Some of you are thinking this is never going to work. Whatever you're thinking, I want to challenge you today. If you actually believe that's the case, the very same hey Blondie, thank you for being here. The very thing that you believe you shouldn't be doing is most likely what you should be doing. And the two reasons why your setback's important for your success and your setbacks are set up for a comeback. The first is too many people quit during the journey when you're middle of the season. The farmer, they plant in the spring, they quit in the summer. If every farmer did that, you'd never have any crops. The crops come in the fall, y'all. It takes another season for it to work. And that's what a lot of you guys are currently in. That's why you have that's where the difficulty lies, right? So you got to understand that simple principle. Exactly. Fear is a liar. So I gotta fear is a liar. And don't be a quitter. The second thing is that setback gives you character, gives you the ability to focus and figure out what you really want to do. Push through the pain. Embrace your pain. The pain will be part of your prize, and it's going to cement who you are later on. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I want to share that quick message. I woke up this morning, felt compelled to share that with you. I got to get going. I got to get on the road and get somewhere. But guys, you guys are great. Stay tuned. I'm gonna try and scope tonight. I appreciate you, Portrait Consult. Thank you so much, WS Report. Shannon, you're in my prayers. Honey Badger, thank you so much. Blondie Girl, thank you for being here. Follow me. Adam Tech, good to see you as always. Thanks, Kevin Madison, for being on here. Sharon, D. Mungro, and Loving Good, thank you so much. You guys are all phenomenal for being here. Hi, beautiful, Sweet Low, good to see you. Douglas, good to see you as well, my friend. Sandy, thanks so much. D Rose, iHeart, Obiz, thanks for being here. I want to share my story so I can empower your spirit. Because the day that you're sitting there thinking that it's not going to work for you, that's the day. That's the day when you need to push through that, right? Because when you push through that, you can look back and you realize from the discouragement, you've had the ability, right, to overcome this. Thanks for being here first time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And so for so many people, they are struggling because they're not getting where they need to be and they know where they deserve to be, but they quit in the middle of their season. I want to show you a quick story. I'm about to make some changes, right, in the next few days. And because of that, this is reminding me of what my life was like 17 years ago, right? Well, when I had to jump, despite it being worse than where I am today, right? You're so awesome, so sweet and so cool. And so there are a lot of people who are sitting there thinking, I can't do this right now. I can't do this. But you know what? You have to. Because you don't have 1,000 lives. It's the only life you got. And what's the worst that could happen, right? You're alive. I woke up this morning with a sense of gratitude. Thank you so much, hello, Rosie. I woke up with a sense of gratitude. And the first thing I did when I woke up, before I started thinking about anxieties of the day, was being thankful. And then after that, it turned into prayer. I spent the next 10 minutes praying out loud. You don't understand. And so that moved my spirit. That moved my spirit. Thank you so much. Thank you for Santa Barbara. I love Santa Barbara. I woke up with gratefulness and it's something with gratitude and talking about the things I was grateful for, the people I was grateful for, the love that I was grateful for, everything in my life that I was grateful for. And I noticed any anxiety that I had slowly disappeared. Like this, within 10 minutes, it was gone. Everything I had was gone. And so it reminded me, I know exactly what I used to do 17 years ago. And I want to make sure I share that message with you guys as you're here. So I love you guys. You guys have been great. Stay tuned. Thank you so much, Catherine. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's got a little emotional too, but yeah, it's real talk, guys. And so I just stay thankful. That's what matters. I focus on what I had because there are people who wish I had who wish they had what I have right now. And I'm thinking about something else, right? I need to remind myself what I'm grateful for and why I'm here. Second thing is stay tuned. I'm going to try and do a scope tonight. And I'm going to let you know in the next week or so, I'm going to be launching. I'm going to pick a date once I finish the landing page. I'm going to pick a date for my pricing principles. So basically the Prince of Pricing is to be part of the School of Economics. I'm going to show you how to price your products and services. You know why that matters? Because I want you to stop leaving money on the table. I'm going to show you how to raise your price. And there are people I charge, as much as $5,000 to teach them these kind of principles, to work with them intimately in their business, which is still available to you. But on a bigger end, this makes it easier for you to take some of the principles and use it for yourself. And then after that, if you want to work together, that costs a lot more. Anyways, the website for the book is startmeupbook.com. That's startmeupbook.com. Thank you so much, Loving Hair. Thank you so much, Sweet and Low. Thank you so much, Adam Tech. You were awesome. Guys, be great today. It's Wednesday. People are worried about hump day. I ain't worried about hump day. Hump day, every day is hump day. Every day I'm working. Every day is grind day. You know what I mean? The grind continues on Friday. We shouldn't be focused on the days of the week. That's a job mentality. What ends up happening is you get stuck. And then like when you're 45, 50 years old, you look back and say, man, I wish I had a chance to do this, but I didn't. I mean, so many people who tell me those kinds of stories, and then they die, and everything they had, the goals they had to share with the world, dies with them. That sucks. It's a crappy way to live. Love you guys. Gotta go. Hold on. Sorry.